Yes, people. Welcome back to the first XI, and this is Chelsea's grounded football. But before we move forward, let's cue that intro. Yes, people. Welcome back to the first XI, and this is Chelsea grounded football. I hope you guys are all well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. Before we move forward, though, there's 30 of you here already. Please make sure that you smash the like button. Let's try and get to 30 likes if we can do that. Also, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, because this is something that we're going to be doing on a sort of weekly basis anyway. Once a week, we'll be talking Chelsea as we go throughout the season. The first XI are also live now on Twitch as well. So get yourself over to Twitch and write in the first XI and give them a follow over there as well, so that you don't miss out. If you're not watching on YouTube, guys, go over there and get stuck in. But I've got Will with me, I've got Hassan with me, and I've got Eric Blue with me. How you doing, guys?
Doing well. It's been an eventful week.
Right.
Doing fine.
Yeah. Phantom, sorry, bro. We've got enough for now. Next time, though, 100%, bro, 100%. Let's get you on next time. Like I said, we're going to be doing it once a week anyway, so definitely get you in. Let's just go through some of the people in the chat. Arsenal channel, never this late. Jim, you're doing your hair, brother. I was actually doing my hair, brother. No, I wasn't. I was joking. Big up, everyone. Hope you're well. To Daniel, big up to Daniel as well. Jem, I tried to message. I know. Did you? I didn't see the Twitter message, bro. Sorry, man. Crusty hater, get a haircut, will ya? What's all the hate? I've only been in here 2 seconds. Everyone's just hating. Hey, everyone. Hope you're all good and having a great day. Is what Easy92 says. Big up to you, my guy. Big up to you. Jem, do you think FFP could still reject Messi move to PSG, as currently it needs their approval? We'll start on Messi, shall we, rather than go delving into Lukaku. I'm going to start with Will on this. The Messi drama yesterday come out of nowhere, didn't it? Really, everyone was just shocked when Fabrizio announced it and Barcelona announced it all over social media that Messi has pretty much ended his time at Barcelona. As soon as that happened, there was a lot of talks about PSG being involved, talking to him already behind the stages, trying to get him across on that. And then there was talks today about also Chelsea, potentially Chelsea looking to go in for him as well, and Roman Abramovich calling for an emergency meeting on this. What's your thoughts on all this, Will? And where do you think Messi would go?
To be fair, when I first heard that he was leaving, I thought it was a bit of a power play by the Liga, because Barcelona didn't sign this contract, which would end pretty much the Super League once and for all. And I thought they would give in and sign that contract, which then the Liga would sort of bend the rules a little bit for Messi to re-sign at Barcelona. But it looks like he's going to go to PSG. I can see why. The money they're going to give him is probably mental. He's in Paris. He's in a well-known city. He might want to live there. You got Neymar, who he's been trying to reunite with for a good couple of years now. It's a very attractive proposition for him, or an attractive proposition for him. If he can go there and win the Champions League with them, which is obviously going to be his aim, he could retire as a legend at Barcelona and at PSG. So I can see why he's going to go there.
So you don't give Chelsea no chance of actually getting him or whatsoever?
A few years ago, if he left a few years ago, I could really see it, but I don't think that's the direction we want to go in. I think although our plan at the moment is to win, I don't think it's as much as it was under Jose in 14-15, where it was just to win now. I think we're trying to balance it a little bit. With obviously Lukaku, he's got another 5 years in him. You've got Kounde coming in, hopefully, who's very young as well. I think we're not completely getting rid of our win now DNA, but I think we're slowly trying to balance it up so we don't end up like a Barcelona with, in holes of debt, with players on incredible, massive wages that we can't get rid of. So, yeah, I don't give us a chance.
I hear you on that one, mate. We've got Eric Blue with us as well. Eric Blue, what's your thoughts on the whole Messi scenario, bro? Do you think Chelsea have any chance of bringing over Lionel Messi, or do you think he's PSG's?
I think there is a chance. It's a slim chance, but Messi will most likely not go to Chelsea. It's something that I've thought about. I've fantasized about it, but realistically, it's not going to happen. I feel like he would really break up a lot of what we understand with the club. Like he would really change things at the club, and I don't know if I don't know if the hierarchy are ready for that kind of change. It's a huge deal. If someone like Messi signs for your club, it's a big deal. So I just something just tells me he just wants even if we have the money and everything. Messi, I don't think Messi is opposed to joining Chelsea.
Yeah,
He follows us on Instagram.
yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like it won't happen, man. I don't expect, the whole Lukaku thing hasn't been resolved yet as well. I just don't see it, man.
I hear you. I do hear you. Obviously, everyone's sort of very just don't see this happening. And Hassan, are you feeling the same about this Messi thing, mate? Or what's your thoughts on this?
I'm gonna do the opposite, really. I, I, in a way, I do kind of see us having a chance, really. Like, come on, man. Like, the only three clubs that could financially afford Messi, right, is those guys, City and PSG.
Mm.
If we're going to break the wage structure, I feel like he's the only one we should do it for. Because financially, look at the money he generates for Barcelona. 4 years, £526 million. Like, the amount of money he would bring out to Chelsea from a business perspective.
Yeah,
I see and I look at it like, realistically, what could we offer? 600, 700K? I think that's kind of realistic.
yeah, yeah. Well,
But
look, go on, Hassan. Go on.
I don't know, like from business perspective, yes, but I, I want to see how our players would react if he did come with them type of wages.
Yeah.
Because I know
Well,
Tuchel would not say no if Roman decided to go for Messi. We all
yeah,
know that.
yeah. And this would be my next thing. I'm going to drop a little bit of a gem bomb here just to try and make it interesting. If you had the opportunity of bringing, all right, he's an aged Messi to Chelsea. All right, he's going to want some crazy wages and not sign Lukaku and not get Lukaku. Would you do it? Any of
Um,
you?
I would rather sign Lukaku right as of now. I'd rather sign Lukaku. That sounds mental, but what Messi? If Hassan's right, if that was isolated and you looked at his wages, what he'll bring in, that's completely fair enough. It makes sense. But then you've got to look at we've already broken our wage structure before under under 23 players. We gave Hudson Odoi a massive contract, which was £120,000 a week. I know it's not that much compared to other players in our squad, but now you've got players like Tammy Abraham and other players up and coming. If they're pushing into the first
Yeah.
team, they're going to want that money, and I'm worried that if we give Messi these 700k a week wages, okay, then you've got players
But
like maybe
to be honest, I want to
but
play devil's advocate, right? And I'm going to say that is Messi. Like,
yeah,
tell me which,
but then
tell
you
me
got to
which
think.
player could demand that fee.
But when Havertz gets interest from maybe a Real Madrid or a Bayern Munich in the future, and we're offering him a new contract to potentially stay, he'll want similar. If he wants to be felt as one of our, if not our most important player, he's going to want similar to those wages. So that's why I just don't think. I think it could have a knock on, which could be fatal for a lot of players in our
It
squad.
could, but I was going to say, right, he's going to have to, like, the club could turn around and say, look at the numbers Messi's bringing in. If you could produce these type of numbers in
Well,
terms of
this is
in terms of income, then
yeah.
Roberts could
This
have
this is the
three
thing.
points.
This is the thing, and I get what Hassan's saying. If you were to ask me, preferably what I would do, yeah, I would prefer us to take a Messi. All right, I think he suits. I think he would because he's all right. He's older. I get that. And people go, "Will he? Can he do it in the Premier League?" Of course he will. Will he score
Yeah.
goals? 100%. I think he will score goals for fun, especially under a Tuchel system. You've got to bear in mind how we play, how much we create. Can you imagine putting Messi on the end of them? I can just only see that it being devastating. But not just that, the fact of having a Havertz around him, a Mason Mount, Hudson-Odoi, a Cho, all these guys will be able to play with the best player, in my eyes, the GOAT, the best player I've ever seen in football with Messi. They all have the opportunity to learn, play, and adapt with him. And then what I would do next season is I'd go for Haaland because you still need a striker anyway. That's what I would do. I mean, Andrew's joined us as well now. A man like Andrew, the Winter Surfer. We're talking about Messi, and we're talking about the choice of having either Lukaku or Messi in your team. And do you obviously you've heard the news today about Roman calling an emergency meeting with the Chelsea board about Messi. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's just gas, or do you think there is an opportunity that there might be some sort of truth to this?
I think it's gas. I'm seeing reports now that he's so close to with PSG. They're now saying news about what shirt number he's going to wear. I don't know. I don't ever believe we even probably sort out any contact with him. I just don't. I keep saying it's like Messi's the same. It's the same sort of outlay like with the Haaland thing. Not like obviously in the minutes. It's just you will have to destroy and obliterate your wage structure for him. Do you know what I mean? Like
I get that, but you're going to get him free. Think of that.
I know you're going to get him free. I just don't know. Unless I think we would only ever go for him if we got a strong feeling that he wanted to join us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just don't think. I just don't think he ever wanted to come to England. I just don't think he ever wanted that.
Are you basing it just on his wage alone, or are you taking consideration of his income? Because I told Jem before you came on, in the last 4 years of Barcelona, Messi has generated himself 530 million for the club.
Oh, I don't doubt he'll generate. No. Mine's more of the side of. I think at 34. Listen, I don't really care about his age. I think he would. He would bring so much to the club. I just don't think they've got any sort of a nod or anything that he wants to join us.
Yeah,
that's why I don't think we've gone for him.
You know this wage structure thing, right?
Yeah.
And people keep saying, "Oh, we're going to break our wage structure record." But if we don't buy a Lukaku or a Haaland at 150, 130 million, whatever, not spend that, and we don't spend any monies on fees, and we just accommodate Messi's wage structure. Even if he was paying him $500,000, actually $500,000 a week, you're going to end up paying him nearly a blimmin' 100 million a year, isn't you? Just in blimmin'. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of money, isn't it? I haven't even worked it out. What's the maths?
No. He's currently on 1.3, so it's about 53 million. So if you're paying him about 500-600k a week, that's about 300k. Not 30 million.
It's 24 million a year. For 24 to 30 million a year for a Messi at $500,000. Is that much for Chelsea? All right, it's not wage structure, but if we don't buy a striker and spend 100 million, could we not get away with doing
it? That's a 5-year contract potentially for Messi.
If he can take a pay cut potentially and he wanted to join, I'd have no problem with this whatsoever. But I just don't think he wants to. As Andrew said, I don't think he wants to join us more than PSG. I think he was willing to take quite a big wage. I think
he's 30 million as well. Going to do 30 million,
and they couldn't do it. So I
just think there's more pull at PSG. He likes playing with Neymar. We know he likes playing with Neymar. He's got him. And he's got Mbappe for at least a year probably to play. You know what I mean? I think that club, that signing Messi indicates to me that club is all geared up for the Champions League this year. Put it this way: if Poch cannot win with a Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, Verratti, Hakimi, Sergio Ramos, Marquinhos, a FIFA team basically, a FIFA living. He is the biggest flop I have ever seen. In world football.
Jem, that's basically the closest we're gonna get. That PSG side's basically a Galactical. Besides their left back, who is absolute awful.
Yeah.
The rest of their positions are filled with world-class players. If they are Messi,
It's interesting to see how Pochettino actually will set up, because he's got to go to a three at the back, because you can't drop Marquinhos. He's one of the best in the world. Ramos is not coming in to sit on the bench. Kimpembe is known as a golden boy there. He's got to go.
he's going to do a Tuchel system. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting, and we are clutching on straws when it comes to Messi anyway. So let's just switch it back onto more Chelsea, and let's talk Romelu Lukaku, because we were told today that Chelsea were going into a direct meet with Inter Milan about the potential signing of him. We're now being told that it's going to be dragged out over the weekend, and potentially Sunday is the day. People are still questioning whether Romelu Lukaku will make it back if we do sign him, if he's going to make it in time to play in the Super Cup. And then people are talking about COVID as well, whether he'd have to maybe be quarantined for 5 or 6 days if he comes across and things like that. I don't even know all that side of the story. But Will, are you still confident on Romelu Lukaku coming to Chelsea, bearing in mind we was told Wednesday that it was going to be done in hours, and then Friday it was going to be done today, and now it's saying Sunday? What's your thoughts on it?
I think I'm so confident about this deal, on and off the pitch. I think we're one of the only clubs I think he would have left to join Inter, and that's the to leave Inter. Sorry, that is the subjectivity in me. I love players that want to play for the club. You know, the story arc of him coming back. I think he's improved massively, and I feel like a lot of people that might be doubting him, I just go back and watch his goals when he was at Everton, when he had full confidence, when he had a manager that believed in him, when he was played to his strengths. He should never have gone to Manchester United. That was probably the worst decision he's made in his career, apart from the money, obviously, that he got. But that was down to Mino Raiola getting in his head. So, I'm so happy to have him back. He's my first choice ahead of Haaland. I thought Haaland was probably going to come in, but I'm more than happy with Lukaku, and I hope. And as long as I think he'll probably get around my realistic expectation for Lukaku next year if he joins is 17 non-penalty Premier League goals. That's what I think he'll get.
What do you think he'll get in all competitions?
All comps, I think 24 to 25.
24 to 25. Okay, that's interesting to know. My preference is Haaland. It's always been Haaland. But if Lukaku comes in, I'm still backing him. You know what I'm like. Yeah. I back every player that comes through the door. I do have my reservations of him, but at the same time, we have no real excuse to maybe question him at the moment because of what he's been doing in Inter Milan. So at the same time, I will give him. I'll give him the opportunity to come in, but I expect the same levels as what he's doing. Yeah, as come over there,
as well, Jim. As well, you've got to look at Jose Mourinho is a very stubborn manager, isn't he? And that's where he struggled. He struggled in a team which didn't suit him. Never was played to his strengths. Really, it wasn't even Mourinho's first choice, was it? It was a board. It was a massive board signing from United, and the board obviously have a massive part in signing Lukaku back to Chelsea, but Tuchel he's stubborn to a certain extent, but he's less stubborn than Mourinho. He's more flexible. He's going to want to play to his strengths and get the best out of him, like he has with Kai Havertz and even Timo Werner to a certain extent. I know Werner hasn't scored many goals, but that's not down to Tuchel. That's just down to Werner not being maybe as confident in front of goal. But I think he gives us something else. He can play with his back to goal. His hold-up play is excellent. He's a player which I think will bully defenders. So I'm very much looking forward to him. Gives us something different.
I hear you, bro. I do hear you. We've got Prime with us as well. Laddie. Prime, are you still confident on Lukaku coming to Chelsea and then actually getting it done by Sunday, or what's your thoughts on it, mate? Are you on mute?
I don't know if it'll get done by Sunday. That's in 2 days, is it? But yeah. I think it will get done. I agree with Will. I'd rather have him than Messi. I understand the massive benefits of having Messi financially and in terms of elevating our club. But this isn't prime for Messi. This isn't Messi at 21. He's an old man right now. And it's not worth the negatives, in my personal opinion. Especially if it's a thing of sign Messi and don't sign Lukaku, or don't sign any of our other targets. Because we've seen at Barcelona over the past few years now, because they've been so focused on keeping Messi that they've failed to actually build a functional team. But yeah, Lukaku's going to be amazing. He'll get calls for us. I understand people's reservations on him, but those are the same people who haven't actually watched him progress at Italy. So just hang on, relax. It's not going to be a big deal. He's not the most. I understand he's not the most sexy looking on the ball. I get that, but he's effective and he gets goals. Yeah, but like in terms of for example, the way Benzema and Lukaku play, it looks nice on the ball. Lukaku doesn't necessarily look nice, but
yeah, I get that.
It's effective. Yeah. And that's what we need right now. We need goals, and Lukaku will get us goals.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I do think he comes and he scores goals, especially in the system that we've got under Tuchel with a Havertz or a Werner or a Mount. I think it works a lot. And Eric Blue, I know you're not 100% confident with this Lukaku news, so I'm going to come to you on this. And what's your thoughts on the whole Lukaku thing? Are you happy with Chelsea actually going all out for him? And do you think they're going to get it done by Sunday?
Yeah. The fact that it's stolen so much is concerning, but I still think it will happen. And I'm assuming by Sunday the deal will be done, and then maybe the official announcement will happen on Monday. But Lukaku would be a very very solid option. I think he might surprise a few people. He was like Will said, he was also my first choice.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you didn't like him. So I said, it wasn't you that said it then. All right, cool.
No,
cool.
no, it wasn't me, man.
Yeah, go on.
I like Lukaku, man, and I think he has a point to prove, and I think there are a lot of reasons why I'm expecting this to be a successful signing. So I just need the deal to happen. We've waited way too long. It's getting it's time to just have something to cheer about. Even the Kounde thing, it hasn't happened yet. The only official signing that's happened was the goalkeeper. So what's his name? Bettinelli.
Bettinelli, yeah.
Yeah. So we just need to get it done, man. I don't even care if it's like 10 or 20 million pounds over what's we expect to sign him for.
Yeah.
But just get a signing done, and let's move on.
Hassan, are you? What's your thoughts there, mate? What's your thoughts on the whole Lukaku thing?
I'm just gonna be straight up and I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Chelsea, what we've been lacking for a long time, is a big physical bully. I felt like personally that Lukaku was meant to be our successor after Drogba. He was meant to be the next big physical striker. But you know how it goes, man. Chelsea don't have, at that time, Chelsea did, or Jose didn't have the time and patience for Lukaku to develop. And I'm just saying that I'm not too fussed about it. I'm not too fussed about his price tag. A lot of fans, some of the fans really are against it because they're saying that, United are going to get some of the money for the transfers for whatever. Yeah. But I find that kind of ridiculous because, let's be real, man, that 40 million is going to go in the Glazers' pocket. After this window, the Glazers ain't going to spend. We needed a big physical striker. Tammy wasn't the guy. He was more or less a giraffe up front.
Yeah.
And he was losing his balance all the time. So, Lukaku's going to cause problems to our defenders. And I feel like he would score about 20 league goals. We need a striker that scores 20 league goals. If he does that, I guarantee you, 8 out of 10 times he'll probably win the league.
I hear you. Before I bring in this guy, I'm bringing in this guy in because his name is quality. This is going to make you laugh. You ready for this, guys? So we'll go to Andrew as well. Ready for this? Here he is. Oh, you can't see it. I've got to move someone up.
Swap me.
Coach Critic is in the house. Listen, we're going to come to him. Yeah, we're going to... No. It's not hate. This is Coach Critic.
I'll just mess with you guys, obviously. What you guys said.
Not bad, bro. Not bad. We're talking Lukaku, so good timing actually for you to come in. But we're gonna go to Andrew, and then we're gonna come back to you and get your thoughts on Lukaku as well. But Andrew, Lukaku, Chelsea, still being delayed. Journalists told us it was going to be today. Then they told us before it was going to be Wednesday. Now they're saying it's going to be Sunday. What is going on, mate? And are you still confident?
I'm confident. It's creeping. Okay, it's creeping, but it's more actual news than we've had in the past 4 weeks or 2 months on anything with Haaland. So do you know what I mean? So I'd rather have this. I think he'll get done either tomorrow or Sunday. Yeah. I think he'll play in the Super Cup. I'm not worried about the fee. It's not 100, not even 100 million now. It's going to be under that. So
it's going to be 80 plus add-ons.
Yeah,
that's
we all this bit about we're paying Man United back. We're not actually paying Man United. We're paying Inter, and they're paying them a small fee. So and we're getting money off that because we.
Well, I've actually been told that's been paid off, Andrew.
Well, okay, so we're not even
with the Hakimi deal. Yeah,
that's
what they've said.
That's what I mean. So all this, that's what I said yesterday. All this rubbish, you know. But I think that is well worth the money in this transfer market for a top striker. Will said 17 goals, and I think that 17 goals. Okay, I'm looking more in the 25 goal Premier League. 25 to 30.
He did say non-penalty.
No. I'm saying non-penalty as well. I'm thinking 25 to 35 goals in all competitions because we create so many chances. We create so many chances, and you know, people get. I've said this to you guys before. People criticise his first touch. Okay, fine. I'm worried about his last touch, and that's banging it in the goal. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm worried about. I'm worried about his last touch, and I think he's going to get so many chances. And if he stays fit, hopefully he's able to take those chances, which I hope he is. Just don't take that number 9 shirt, man. It's cursed at the moment.
Give him the 18, which he had before.
Give him the 18, not the number 9, please.
We do have problems with strikers, don't we? And the worry is you bring in the Lukaku. I kind of don't want us to pay what Inter want, only just because of the added pressure of being the guy that broke the Premier League transfer record, and it be sitting on his head along with the pressure of coming back in and having a point to prove in England anyway, and everyone having their evil eyes on him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he needs it. I want Grealish to hold that record. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that he don't have to hold that record. Do you know what I mean?
But look at the profile of strikers we've had a problem with. Like, I think you have to look at it with a bit of context. Like, for example, Falcao, we bought him we loaned him in after a failed loan at Man United, and he was injured anyway. Torres, before he got injured, he was one of the best strikers in the world, but we shouldn't have bought him during that injury, to be fair. Morata, he was our backup option to Lukaku, and even then, Morata at Real Madrid and Juve, he was always known as a backup striker. You know, so it didn't make sense bringing him in as a first choice. Who else's Costa succeeded because he matched the profile of striker that succeeds at Chelsea. Same with Drogba, that profile of a big bully essentially who dominates and gets you goals. That's the sort of striker that succeeds. That's why Lukaku will do well with us.
No, and I agree. Well, look, yet to be seen. I'm one of these guys that is the proofs in the pudding. You know what I'm like. I like to see him come in and do it. We've unfortunately, bigged up a lot of players coming over and put high expectations on them, and they haven't unfortunately reached them.
That's why my expectation is only 17 league goals, because I don't want to. I'm not even going to go into other strikers I've gassed up in the past. But,
we all have, mate. Don't worry about it. We all had our moments. Trust me, and it's not our fault. We've just expected it to happen, and it's not. For whatever reasons, it is what it is. But at the same time, we've signed great players that have come. Well, so we've had our best. We've had our mix, but we've got the Belgian Heskey. I'm going to call him the Belgian Heskey today because that is his name, the Belgian Heskey. Belgian Heskey. So used to not calling him that. I used to call him Coach Critic, isn't it? But, what's your thoughts on this Lukaku deal, bro? Because obviously we were told that it was going to be today, and then before that it was Wednesday, and now it's going to be Sunday. I know you're not 100% down for this Heskey, because they call him Heskey, Lukaku deal in itself. So I want your thoughts on it. Do you think Chelsea are going to get it done, bro? And what's your overall thoughts on Lukaku being a Chelsea player?
I mean, it's anyone's guess at this point, right? Like, it seems like this is just history repeating itself over and over again. all these tier one, quote unquote, tier one journalists saying one thing, and then it's the exact opposite the next day. So I have no clue what's happening at Chelsea right now. This particular time feels like when, like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, where everyone was like, "Oh, Holland's coming. All the little in the nose were like, wearing their glasses and like, "Oh my God, this is so cool. We're gonna get Holland." And then now it's the complete opposite, right? And it feels exactly the same. It's like they're putting a carrot in front of us and just dangling this carrot, and we're chasing after this carrot. And in the end, we're not actually eating any food, So I have no idea who's coming in. I have no idea where they're at with this deal. I mean, we've heard hot rumors for weeks now, and nothing's come to fruition. So I'm not in any way confident that we're on the brink of signing Lukaku. With that said, I'm not the most confident that he is exactly what we need. Heard Winter Surfer were talking about his first touch versus his last touch, and the fact that we missed so many chances last year. We created a lot of chances and missed a lot of chances. My question is, will Lukaku be able to put himself into position to finish those chances? We talk a lot about Werner's lack of finishing, but he gets himself into incredible positions and then misses. Will Lukaku actually get himself into those exact same positions and miss? It's very easy to say that we create chances, but we create chances because of the quality we have on the pitch, not so much about our manipulation of the ball and our ability to get it, into the final third. That's completely different.
That it is a fair point, actually, because it links into where he will fit in. Can I ask you guys all a question? Do you think Lukaku will be the guy making the runs, or do you think he'll be dropping deep, holding the ball up, getting other players into play? And what does that mean for maybe a Mason Mount? Does that mean we sort of change shape a little bit? Because if you've got an attack of Timo Werner who's running in behind, stretching the defence, you've got Havertz sort of doing similar, and then you've got maybe Lukaku dropping deep to link the play up with them, and he can also be at the end of.
What is it, Will? My flip question to you would be, what is it that you expect Lukaku to do when he comes to Chelsea, and how would he play? How would you see him playing?
He really is good when he drifts onto that right channel. When he has the freedom to either bully a defender and cutting on his left, or he can hold up the ball and someone away can move it onto the left channel. That's what makes me sort of have an inkling of a thought in my head that maybe Werner might play. But I think you've got to start Kai Havertz. There's no point dropping Havertz. He's in excellent form technically. Carried it through Euros. It's been the best Havertz I've seen since he was at Leverkusen in the last few months. So I don't know if he maybe switches shape, plays Mount a bit deeper, or maybe at the start of the season Mount doesn't get as much game time. I don't know what he's going to do, to be completely honest. I hope that Mount can play.
Does he suit our system?
Does
he suit our system? Does he suit the Tuchel system? Do you feel like he would slip into that quite easily? Or
he's very good with a partner of a second striker, which is what Havertz essentially is. So if you're playing him and Havertz together, I think that will probably work. Although the only thing that worries me about that is Havertz also likes to orchestrate on that right hand side. Maybe his game will have to change slightly. He's got a good weak foot, though, Havertz. So I'm confident either way, whatever channel he has to drift onto, it will probably work. Maybe Mount plays. Do you guys know when we played Man City in the FA Cup? And even for quite a bit of time in the Champions League final, Mount was dropping deep, just forming a three with Kounde and Jorginho. I sort of see that happening with then Lukaku and Havertz up front. That's what I personally see happening.
Go ahead, lad.
I see a switch between that and playing a three of Lukaku, Havertz, and Werner.
Yeah.
Because people can talk about Werner's goals, but the pace and movement and intelligence that he gives us, it gives a lot of space and time for Lukaku and Havertz, even Mount. But I don't like it. The thing is, can we afford to switch from this back five? I don't know, and I don't think the problem necessarily is our midfield. I think it's our defense.
Wow.
I don't like me personally. I don't think any of our defenders individual or any of our centre backs individually are good enough to play in a 2.
I'm in agreement with that, by the way.
Well, besides Thiago Silva.
So yeah, but then if Thiago Silva can do that, surely one of the 3-4 defenders that we've got can play next to him. Surely.
Yeah, but Thiago Silva can't. But he can't play. Yeah, true. But Zuma is the best partner for Silva. My personal opinion.
Do you not think Rudiger can do a job?
I think Rudiger can.
I don't rate Rudiger that highly.
But Rudiger to me has shown over his career at Chelsea. For me, he's been probably when he was with David Luiz in the 2, he was phenomenal at times. He had obviously we lost to City 6-0 and whatever, and we had his off moments. But I think Rudiger's shown me the most over his time at Chelsea. Apart from Silva, obviously, he's been near perfect, apart from a couple of errors. But for me, I think Rudiger could do that job fine. In the air, statistically, he's...
Well, could Kounde do that job if he comes in as well?
Maybe. I think Rudiger and Kounde could be a good partnership. I think Christensen and Kounde could be a good partnership.
I think if we're going to play a high line, we're definitely going to need defenders that can have pace. That much is for certain. So, especially if we're playing in a 2. But aside from that, I don't know. I really think that our shape, that 3 at the back, was what won us the Champions League. Just because we're so compact, the spaces in between were so minuscule. If we change to a back 4 right now, I don't know if we're going to be able to be as compact as we were before. And the adage of having like Mason Mount as like that sort of like 8-10, like a guy kind of like shifts out wide and then comes back in the middle as a defender. Very difficult to have that now. But as I said, I'm not as confident as you guys may be about like playing a back 4 as much as I am about back 3, back 5 right now.
Go on, Andrew.
Are we basing it off the back 2 fear because of what's happened recently under Lampard? And do we not have confidence the way Thomas Tuchel has improved most of these players that they would be better?
Yeah, you're right.
Back 2 with that.
Yeah, Andrew,
that's true.
He's improved these players, but from when Tuchel came in until the FA Cup final, as much as Tuchel is a world-class manager, and me personally, I expect managers to get the best out of players. Sooner or later, the quality of your players or the quality of certain individuals in your squad does tend to show. Because consistency-wise, I know we got top 4 because Spurs lost, but technically we bottled top 4. Like we couldn't get over that line. I don't think some of these players are good enough consistently at performing at a certain level, which again probably explains the back 3, which is fine. But switching to a 2, I don't. I personally don't trust them.
Well,
I think Rudiger. And if I'm proven, I want to be proven wrong. That's the thing. The way I was proven wrong about Mendy last season, I want to be proven wrong, which means Chelsea wins. But I don't know.
Yeah. Can I just quickly say, Seppers has come out of a comment. He's saying, "How do you guys see Lukaku and Havertz working? They both like to on the right channel.
Yeah.
Don't want them running in each other's way."
No, that was my problem as well. That's the only problem I have with that partnership.
The thing is, I think Havertz is a starter next season. So if that's an issue, and Lukaku's obviously up front, is that something that could give us a bit of a problem, or do you think they would just work it?
I saw in Germany how Havertz works off a front player, whether they're a striker or not. He'll have no issue with that. The thing is, he'll be allowed. I believe he'll be allowed to float wherever he wants around that. If we played a 3-4-3, I saw how they tried to pick up. They couldn't pick him up when they've got a distraction there, and they've got we get Lukaku. That's a huge distraction for him. Yeah. And my biggest thing with Lukaku, I didn't say before, I think he's not only would he impact on goals. I think his biggest impact will be on the players around him.
Yeah, spot on.
Because they've got a target there, and Kai, as good as he is, I think he's better when he's not the prime target.
Yeah, I agree.
He's the second striker, Andrew. Yeah,
and I'm not saying it is because it won't replicate it. It's got shades of if they do combine well, it's got little shades of Drogba and Lampard. Only because Kai doesn't late run, but when they just couldn't pick him up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So no goals. So.
You know,
I think.
Go on, who's talking? Who's trying to talk?
Do you mind if I go first, Prime?
Go on,
Yeah, you can go. Yeah.
I think as well with our defence, the reason why, even if Rudiger's not a perfect centre back, I think he'll be better in a 2 now because of our midfield setup as well. We won't be. Kante is an excellent player. Don't get me wrong. When he's pressing high up the pitch, winning the ball back. When he's the sitter, he gets pressed the shit out of. Hopefully, we don't see Kante as a sitter anymore at Chelsea. Hopefully, he plays in his role in that central midfield if we switch to a 4. I think we'll be less open. I think we won't give the ball away as much because Jorginho will play. Mount Kovacic can also do the dirty work as an 8. The thing is, though, as well, under Lampard, he played Havertz as an 8. Havertz's defensive contribution is little to none. So, yeah, I think we'll be a lot more compact even if we switch to a 4. Maybe Prime's right. Maybe Christensen and Rudiger aren't good enough, but I hope that we can give them a chance and see how they work.
Yeah, I agree. Eric Blue, do you want to add to that by any chance, mate?
I agree with pretty much everything that's been said. I was thinking about the whole Werner thing and his movements, but would you sacrifice the fact that he doesn't really get the goals? Would you still put him in even though he's not really, obviously he's contributing to the assists and everything, but
his movement?
Yeah, it's difficult because for me the obvious thing would be to put him on the bench and have Havertz and Lukaku. I think Lukaku has good movement. Maybe he's not as fast as Werner, but he also has good movement, and he also obviously he can score. Yeah. So I think Werner would go on the bench.
This myth of why is it perpetrated that Werner doesn't get goals? Is it based off of one season from him in his debut season at Chelsea? Because he's got goals in the past. And he scored goals in the past. And I think it's that what Andrew was saying of Lukaku being a target and Havertz can kind of not be the main focus. It also works as well for Werner because at Leipzig, when he played, because he wasn't, I mean, Werner's not a striker anyway, but because he wasn't the main focus, Poulsen was, Werner was allowed to essentially play without added pressure. Lukaku comes in as our main guy, as the striker, as the main focus, which means it takes a lot of pressure off of Werner and a lot of pressure off of Havertz. And I think you see them flourish a lot more.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Werner doesn't score. I think you either haven't watched him in the Bundesliga or you just don't rate him at all. But there's this myth.
Well, even in the Bundesliga, let's be honest, his conversion rate there wasn't amazing.
Yeah, but
scored a lot of goals. Scored a lot of goals, but didn't actually take a lot of the opportunities that were. Do you know
conversion rate? Salah, who everyone says is world class, his conversion rate is not the best. Gnabry, who everyone says is world class, his conversion rate is not the best. The same with Aubameyang, who everyone says is world class. The same with probably even Marcus Rashford as well. Those are 4 inside forwards whose conversion rates are not the best, but because their team creates an abundance of chances, it works.
When you look at those guys and you compare it to Werner's, it's completely different, right?
Yeah, but it's based off one
extremely low.
But that's based off one season.
Prime, you're right. It is based on one season. Yeah, it is based off one season. But I think there's more than enough evidence from last season. He played a lot of games. You have to consider he played a lot of matches. So yeah.
How is it more than enough evidence? It's one season.
Well, it's
not one season for me.
It's like how many matches did Werner play? Like over 50?
So what? It's still one season.
Okay,
by that same logic, I can still say there's enough evidence for me to say Christensen and Rudiger are not good enough because people want to get gas over a half a season with Tuchel. Yeah, I can say use that same logic, but people will tell me Christensen and Rudiger are very good centre backs.
Yeah, based on that logic, I'm saying they are because last season they proved that maybe they weren't good enough before, but they were good enough last season. Because
based off one season, and I can say Werner has been good in the past, and his potential shows to be one of the best. But you're going based off one poor season.
I
And
agree.
yet he still got 27 goal contributions. Sorry, Joe.
No, I agree. I agree with Prime, to be honest. I think that he's heavy, especially from the Chelsea fan base, from what I've seen up to now. I feel like he's heavily sort of criticised. I've seen people criticising him in a pre-season game against Tottenham, which I don't think he was that bad in, to be honest. I know
He should have scored. He was onside. He was onside.
Fine, he should have scored, but
he did score.
No,
He did
Gemma,
score.
I mean, what I mean by that is he was onside, but they didn't give
yeah,
it.
and he scored. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, we in that game, for example, I saw a lot of people on social media pointing out, oh, he had that chance on the right where he should have took it earlier and he didn't, and this is the problem. But he scored in that game as well. But no one actually wants to talk about him actually running around the goal and putting it back in net, and he actually done the right thing. He kept himself inside and scored. And the thing with Timo Werner is this is a big season for him, right? Everything else, his movement, the way he plays the game, I think is good. The only thing that he needs to, we all know that he needs to work on is that he needs to put it in the back of the net. Yeah. But bringing in a striker like a Lukaku, for example, who looks like he's coming to the club, I do generally think that you will see a better Werner, because I've always said from the beginning that he shouldn't be the focal point. He's not that type of player. He's not someone that he should be leading the line, trying to hold balls up, link play. That's not his game. What you want Werner to do is run off the Lukaku's, for example, that's holding the ball up into spaces, which he's good at doing. And I think he's probably the best at doing that, barring Havertz, at running into spaces behind the defence and creating space. So I think he's going to have a big season. I think he's going to be very important for us. But we need to. I get the criticism of him, but we need to allow it. This one, it was just only one season. We've got to give him the benefit of the doubt going into this season, and he needs to score goals. That's it. Everything else in this game.
I think though that's why if we get Lukaku, my sort of expectations of him in terms of how many goals he gets goes down. I'm fine because I was seeing more of a wide player than attack. So I'd be going 12 to 15 league goals, and would be I think is more than fair to ask for Werner this season. Any other goal is fine, no whatsoever. But I think to double what he got originally and add a bit more, especially when you've got the likes of Havertz and Lukaku up there with you, I think it's more than fair. Plus now, you're right. I think Werner was unlucky with some of his criticism. He did miss easy chances. I think that's fair to say he did, because it's not as if it's not like we're not getting him the chances or he's getting himself. But his misses didn't cost us. Do you know what I mean? So I think he got off lightly as well. If those misses have cost us in the Champions League final, you can bet your sweet asses that he would have got one hell of a. He would have got so much criticism. But
totally,
I think if they're more wider, I'm expecting 12 to 15 league goals. This season. So.
I think it's the same with I think Chelsea fans who criticise Werner for not getting goals and only having a work rate, but yet you guys all love Drogba, who wasn't scoring 20 goals a season. I think that's very hypocritical, for one. I think, two, it's
Careful now.
What do you mean? Careful?
I swear,
Drogba's a match winner.
What do you mean careful? Am I wrong? And also, the first 18 to 2 years, Drogba was stinking at Chelsea as well.
He was.
So I think automatically just switch on Werner, who we've seen in the past is a clinical marksman. Like his last season in Germany, he was the second top goal scorer in the Bundesliga. And that was a year when people said Lewandowski should win the Ballon d'Or. So
objectively, I agree with what most of what you said, but I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I'm not saying that, I don't want Werner to get sold. I'm not saying, he's bad or he's not good enough for the club. But what I'm saying is, I'm not even criticizing him that much for not scoring the goals, because for me, he's not a goal scorer. That's my opinion. I know he scored a lot of goals for Leipzig, but for me, from what I've seen, he's not that kind of player. And I agree with most of what you said, but you have to agree that even I think someone mentioned, even for Leipzig, he missed a lot of chances he should have scored. And every striker misses chances, but you have to consider his conversion rate. Yes, it was just one season. His conversion rate last season was nowhere near Lewandowski and the other strikers you mentioned. It wasn't close, because those guys, they scored most of the chances they should score.
Yet last season, he still got more goal contributions than world-class Mane, world-class Aubameyang. He got more than world-class Serge Gnabry, more than world-class Raheem Sterling.
Who considers Gnabry world-class?
People do consider. Well, am I wrong?
I don't consider.
Gnabry is
am I
very
wrong?
much. Gnabry is overrated, yeah. By a lot
I know, but do
I
people
don't
not
think he's
consider him world-class?
Yeah, some people
Yes,
do.
some people do.
Exactly.
Guys, can
I've
we
never
just
heard
I'll just go off topic and talk about Gnabry? But 2 seconds. Paris Saint-Germain are close to signing Leo Messi, is what Fab's Cheat confirmed. PSG are preparing the official contract until June 2023 to be submitted to Messi after his father Georgia is in the next hours. Messi's open to join PSG. Neymar was pushing in the last 24 hours. PSG are so confident that he's coming to them.
How many hotels, Jim? How many hotels do you reckon? Would you reckon?
Apparently Messi turned down taking Neymar's 10 and is going to wear 19.
I don't ever believe that. I so don't believe Neymar would give up the number 10 shirt.
No. PSG offered him the 10.
Really?
What do you think? You think Neymar has a right to say no? Who's Neymar?
guys, we are running out of time as well. I want to get into one quick more topic for the last 10 minutes, and it's Chelsea's overall. I know we haven't done much in the transfer windows, but the reason I want to talk about it is just because I feel like a lot of Chelsea fans, not a lot, minor Chelsea fans, especially on social media, I've been turning against their board in terms of being slow to react, to bring players in, you know, the lack of guidance, the lack of clarity, the lack of everything. And there's even been people even saying that Marina needs to go. She's not good enough. She doesn't know what she's doing, blah, 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 blah. I want to go to Winter Surfer first on this. Winter Surfer. What are your thoughts to the Chelsea fans out there that still don't back our board and think people like Marina are useless?
Idiot. Pure and simple. Pure idiots. I hate saying this. I still think it's because she's a woman as well. I still think misogyny comes into it. Because I can't remember. I know Michael Imanalo got some stuff when he was here, but I can't remember it as much. If she pulls off these 2 deals, it's another back-to-back magnificent windows. Yeah?
Yeah.
Everyone talks about 2017, and rightly so. One of the worst windows, the worst window probably in our club's history. But 18 was a good window. 19 we couldn't do anything. 20 was a good window. 21. All before that. You know, she does her job very well. She's worked with Roman Abramovich over 20 years. Yeah? He knows how to... How do you think he stays billionaire? He puts the right people around him to run his businesses. And it is a business. She will always look for the best deal for the club. Okay? She always has done that. And I think she's learning as well. She's credited throughout Europe as one of the best negotiators.
Yeah.
You know, in the game. You know, she listen, they
Yeah,
will decide with the board and she will negotiate.
financially
Hang on. She will speak with the board and they will negotiate. She doesn't scout the players. Do you know what I mean? But you know, if you want to have a go at her, fine. But I think she's essential to. She runs that club. She runs that club. Roman signs off on the checks and everything, but you know, and he'll have it in. But she runs that club, and she runs
does most of the negotiations, doesn't she? Every negotiation. People don't realise this when it comes to Marina. It's not just player negotiations. People need to understand this. She negotiates the sponsorings. She negotiates the sign-offs. You know, even like even for example, even the T-shirts, for example. You know, our kits and stuff. Yeah, the designs of these things. She negotiates. She does everything goes through this woman. It's not just her going out and signing off players. He literally brought her on in. How long ago did he bring her in? He brought her in. Was it back in? I can't remember if it was back when he come in, but he literally came there with Marina. It was after Emanalo. Yeah. So he 14, went. Yeah.
15 or something like that.
Yeah. So about 14. Since that day, she's literally the negotiator for Chelsea. Everything goes through her, ends with her. And Jim, Roman just goes, yes.
Jim, she's the reason we don't rely on Roman's money that much. If at all, the deal she strikes, people laugh at Trivago deal. It's a massive deal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You know, the tyres deal. It's everything like that. She is chief negotiator. So I really wish they would just get off her back. Do you know what I mean?
And
go on, Hassan.
And I was going to say, right, tell me which player that barely plays any minutes of Premier League football, never mind normal football as well. Tell me which negotiator gets 20 million of a youth player.
Wow.
We got 20 million of Solanke. And he's
Yeah,
a
Yeah, that's
flop.
true.
Like with Marina, like I get it. We as Chelsea, especially in the recent past, we've signed some dud players, but
Bro,
she just negotiates the deal. Like when you actually look at it, forget the players' ability, how bad they are. When you look at the deal she signed, it's like for example, Kepa 7-year deal. Technically, especially what happened with Courtois that summer anyway, that is technically a very good deal. Because if that had been Alisson, for example, who we were supposed to sign, if that had been Alisson, tying him down to a 7-year deal, everyone would be saying Marina masterclass. But now because it's Kepa and Kepa flopping and whatever, people are angry at it. We got Thiago Silva who left PSG last summer, who, to be honest, probably should have gone to like anywhere else, but he came to us. We got Havertz, who should have cost 100 mil. Like we were able to spend 250 million due to COVID and stuff like that. We got 100 mil for Hazard, or well now probably 160 mil.
We just sold Mark Gay for 20 million.
Exactly. We got 160 in installments for Hazard, and he was on the last year of his contract. That should not have happened at all, but we did. Like, she's amazing at what she does. Tammy, we're now going to sell him for 40 mil. When probably a few weeks ago, we probably should have sold him. We could have sold him for 25 just to get him out of the door. Yeah. But she stuck to our guns, and we're getting 40 for him. Like, respect what she does.
I've had my fair. I've criticised Marina a lot, and at one point I was. Yeah. I was stupidly. I was really reactionary, to be completely honest. I'm not gonna lie. But if she, even in the window where we didn't spend anything out of the transfer ban, I still thought what she did to tie down players like Mount, Reece James, to good contracts that are a good amount of money. Didn't go overboard on it. We brought in Kovacic that window, Pulisic, who helped us get Champions League that year, which obviously we went on to win. If she gets Lukaku for under 100 million, I think that is a very good deal because, one, he's still got time left in his contract. Two, we're in desperate need of a striker. And three, he's Inter Milan's best player. So, and Kounde as well is for value for money. I think if we're paying 50-odd million, I think that's a very good deal as well. So, all I want her to do now is keep Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and there's a 10 out of 10 window. Please, tie it down.
I do hear that. I mean, Coach Critic, what's your thoughts on?
Yeah, I've been trying to get on this. I think we're giving her a little bit too much credit. Guy Lawrence does the negotiations for the kit deals and whatnot. He's the guy he's that guy. As far as Marina goes, yes, she has been good at getting us the players that we need or some that we don't and whatnot. But at the same time, how good has she been at like negotiating deals for players that we don't need anymore? Like not very good at all. We have like 42 players on our roster right now, and none of them are being moved.
Hold on, which players? Name them.
Let me just finish for a second. Let me just finish my thoughts. Okay. Like I agree, she's done a great job of getting these players in, but when it comes to moving them on, we're not moving anybody. We still have Bakayoko. We still have Drinkwater. We still have Zappacosta. We still have all these guys, and it's impeding. It's now leading to guys like Lewis Bates, Livermento. All these guys are looking to go elsewhere. Hold on a second, because they don't have a place to play. If you take the Zappacostas out of the roster, you take all these guys off the team. There's a little bit more breathing room in the roster for them to at least see some internal growth. Am I wrong?
Okay. Do you know what an answer in reply to that is? Then blame our negotiating team for buying Bakayoko, Drinkwater, and Zappacosta, who aren't good. Blame, again, all she does is negotiate the deal. So why don't you blame who's in charge of finding the right club? Hold on. I'm trying to explain. Finding the right club to sell these players, but also credit the fact that when we send these players out on loan, so Bakayoko has been out on loan for the past 2-3 years, and we have already recouped the amount of money that we bought him for. So at the end of things, when we sell him, we're getting a major profit, as we've done with Barkley, as we've done with Zappacosta. So I get these players are still here, and you can say that, it's annoying why they're still in our team or in our squad or whatever, but it's not up to her to sell them. All she does is negotiate whatever deal that she's supposed to do.
It's not up to her to sell them?
Andrew, look at the screen.
Okay.
It's not her job.
So whose job is it to sell these players?
It's definitely her job. I'm not
Whoever who's
sure.
in, it's their job to negotiate deals. But if whoever who's in charge cannot find the appropriate club, or if clubs don't want to say buy Zabacosta or Drinkwater or whatever, then what can she do?
Look, she
Well,
can sell them for a lower price.
Exactly.
Just to let you know, like,
have you seen any rumors of clubs who want to buy Drinkwater?
True.
So that means no one wants to buy Drinkwater.
We saw one or two earlier on, but not
gave Drinkwater
no.
$94K a week. You know, that was the negotiation that she put, $94K a week. Of course, nobody wants to buy him. Nobody wants to buy him. That's the point. Like, all of these deals that we're talking about are hard to move because they're getting contracts that are immovable. Like, Drinkwater would rather go work in a bar, go drink in a bar, than play football because he's making $94K a week at Chelsea.
Yeah, I hear that. Baba Rahman's on $95,000 a week, and he's still on our books. But I do get where you're coming from with it. I do to a degree. I feel like you might be saying that. I don't want to. Coach, are you saying that you don't think Marina's as good at a job as people say
she's I just don't think she's as good as everyone's giving her credit for.
And I was just gonna.
We can do better.
Personally, I think
I don't know. I don't know anyone that could do better. Like, that's such a trivial.
So
question.
So your reasons for not thinking Go on, mate.
I'm basing it on the fact that what we're looking at the squad right now that we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
We have players on the roster that we can't move because they make excess amount of money that nobody can match their deals, right? We can't even move Emerson. We can't move Alonso. We can't move any of these guys because of the amount of money that they come at. And then on top of that, we continue to bring up, like, from I think she came on actually 2013, 2014, if I'm not mistaken. 2015, who was it? Jose Mourinho.
Diego Costa, Fabregas.
He was asking for a bunch of players, couldn't get them over the line, so they got him the Gilabagis, the freaking Michael Hectors, Baba Rahmans. All these are the players that she negotiated deals for and brought them into the club. Let's not, if we're gonna celebrate her for the work that she's done, let's also look at the work.
No, she's done a lot. She has done a lot of things, but I get that. And what we've got to bear in mind is the way I put context to this with Marina is how successful have we been since she's been here? As she made the right decision.
We were successful before she was here. She was
very
successful before. We're just a successful club.
Yeah, and I get that, but I do think at the same time, and she doesn't get her due credit, and she has done some very good things at this club for us, you know, and that's
Absolutely.
that. But I get where you're going with it. I agree in terms of wage structure, in terms of players being tied to contracts that are absolutely stupid, and we can't sell them off. You know, we're gonna lose massive amounts on Kepa because of the of what we bought him at, his wages. People don't want to take him off our books because they want Chelsea to pay half of his wages. So for him to go and play, for example, like a Napoli, who were supposedly interested in him at the time, like we do have problems there. And yes, you can point fingers at Marina for that, 100%. I get that, but I think that's always going to happen in football, Coach. No, do you not think? Like, I think you're always, especially if you're a club like Chelsea, where you've got the funds, you've got the money, you've got the backing. You know, it's very hard to always make right decisions on every. And you've got to bear in mind, we've got one of the biggest loanee project going in the Premier League. If you think about the players that are going out, coming in, the amount of income we make from that as well. And I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying.
It's not so much I don't think she's doing an adequate job. It's the fact that I think she's selling. And I again, like, going back to what Surfer was saying, like, I don't think it's just because she's a woman. Like, we saw Michael Emelano get the same sort of like stick for the same reason. We saw Gourlay get the same stick as a chairman. It's just their position in the club. Like, we're pointing fingers at people that we know are in these positions all the time. And it may be maybe there are chauvinistic fans out there that look at this woman and say, why is she in this role? I'm not denying that that's the case, but my beef with her is not because she's a woman. It has more to do with the fact that I'm looking at what the work she's done, all the work that she's done for this club right now, and evaluating it as such. I could be wrong. I'm definitely not one to say that, like, my opinion is the gospel, but let's just look at the work, the track record.
Yeah, I understand. I think, listen, we're still paying for 2017, and I will admit that was not her best work at all. We're still paying. And the reason we can't get the Deadwood players is because they are Deadwood players. They're crap, and no one will pay what we want to pay for them. And that's maybe we're going to have to take a a major hit on some of these players. I just think it happens in all walks of life. I think it's easy to highlight the negatives first. And I'm not saying you've done it, but others have done that to extreme, than the positives. Because I think there's more positives that outweigh any negatives. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'd rather have Marina in charge than say Ed
Do
you know what I mean?
There's been some really underrated deals which she's done as well. Like for example, the loan deal which we got for Kovacic was really a really cheap loan fee, wasn't it? Around 12 million, something around that.
Yeah.
And then we snuck a release clause or a buyback clause or an option to buy, whatever it's called, for 40 million, which for a player Kovacic, in my opinion, is worth more than 40 million. He's at least a 55, 60 million pound player, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So she did really well there. Jorginho, I think, for 57 million. I know Jamie, you're not his biggest fan. He's been inconsistent at times, but he's helped us win a Champions League. I think if you're telling me 57 million for a player that has been almost perfect in our Champions League run, I would, he's done really well. Kepa was a bit shit, but we move. Higuain was a loan deal, so we didn't really lose or gain anything from that. He was just a
respect
bit shit.
Respect Kepa.
Oh, there we go. Anyway, I get everything you're just saying, guys. And do you know what? This has actually been quite a good show. Actually, something that we're going to be doing more on a weekly basis as well here. And it is what it says. It's grounded football. It's about people coming here, giving their opinions that may not be the same, but bringing their reasons to the table and us discussing them as a fan. Devil's avocado. Look, kick Prime for saying respect Kepa. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. You know what he's like. But guys,
Rachel, you like Fred. Let's not do this.
Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you smash the like button for First XI. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Like I said, we'll be trying to do this once a week potentially. They have got a Twitch. They've got a Twitch channel now as well, so you've got to go and follow them over on the First XI. So make sure you do that over there on Twitch for them as well. Eric Blue, Will, Prime, Winter Surfer, Belgian Heskey, Hassan. I'm going to start calling the Belgian Heskey. It's going to be stuck in my head now because that was perfect. I love it. I do love it. I'm not going to lie. But
I'm just fucking with you guys. Come on.
Appreciate your time as always. And guys, have a good evening. Have a good weekend. Be safe and take care of yourselves. And